In 5 billion more years, all of the energy in the universe will burn out and life will cease to exist. Some of the world's leading scientists got together recently and shared their findings that the world today has half as much energy as it did 2 billion years ago. Now, the current theory, and we'll just run with it for now, is that the world was started at the Big Bang. Energy, time, space, matter, all of it came into existence in one moment. But we're losing that energy and we're heading toward death. And so many scientists have confirmed once again the universe, life itself, has no meaning. And I have to say, I totally agree. If there's no God behind all of this, if there was nothing before the Big Bang, if there's nothing after we're dead and gone, whether it's our personal existence that is over or the existence of life itself in the universe, if there is nothing after this life and after this existence, then life is meaningless. The Bible says it like this: if the dead are not raised, then let us just eat and drink and be merry, for tomorrow we die. And King Solomon was beginning to come to that same conclusion. He says, meaningless, meaningless, utterly meaningless, everything is meaningless. Later, Solomon wrote, I have seen all the things that are done under the sun, and all of them are meaningless, a chasing after the wind. Have you ever tried to catch the wind? You can't do it. And life without purpose is like chasing after the wind. Life without God, life without something beyond this life just doesn't make any sense, and it's meaningless. But if there's something that existed before energy began, then certainly that same thing might exist after energy is destroyed and goes away. And that thing, Christians believe, according to a biblical worldview, that thing is God. Something doesn't come out of nothing. God is the first cause. He was there before the world began, and he will be there at the very end also. Solomon wrote at the end of his letter, remember your Creator in the days of your youth, before the days of trouble come and the years approach when you will say, I find no pleasure in them. Before the sun and the light and the moon and the stars grow dark. And then he writes, now all has been heard. Here is a conclusion of the matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the duty of all mankind. Here's the great thing about a biblical worldview, a worldview that has God at the center. Our lives can have purpose and meaning. And even when we think about the end of existence and the end of the world and the end of energy itself and time and space and matter, God is still there and will still be there. In Revelation 21, John writes, then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. And I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride, beautifully dressed for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, look, God's dwelling place is now among the people, and he will dwell with them. And they will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. And he will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. God knew it all along that the earth as we know it will be obliterated and it will be gone. Whether it's 5 billion years down the road or whether it's just around the corner, doesn't matter as much as to know that God always knew it. God called it, he predicted it, because he was the one who created the universe. And he who was seated on the throne said, I am making everything new. And then he said, write this down, for these words are trustworthy and true. And he said to me, it is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. The world will end someday, that's for sure, but life is not meaningless.